Ride, and it's just a short poem. It says, when you hear the strings of a Spanish guitar vibrating songs about life, through windows aglow with coal oil light, into coal that can cut like a knife, and then see good ponies, their backs to the wind, patiently waiting outside. There's no way that you cannot love horses, for they give us much more than a ride. When you see a noble old draft horse leaned into his collar and pull, getting low to try even harder to move a big sled that you've loaded too full, or see the Budweiser Clydesdales all shined up and stepping with pride. Like I said, you gotta love horses. They give us much more than a ride. When you see a great bronc like old Trail's End take a lap with his head held high, proud of himself for doing his job with that look at me look in his eye. Well, folks, you just gotta love him. He's earned the right to his pride. It's impossible not to love horses. They give us much more than a ride. And think of the horses that work on the ranches and the great things they're doing each day. Gathering, sorting, roping, and penning, while water and grass is their pay. Some packing panniers, some packing dudes. Their usefulness can't be denied. But if whatever they're doing, there's one thing for sure. They give us much more than a ride. You remember when Trigger flew like the wind and the scene would make your heart sing? Or Bozo or Colonel Freckles, Poco Bueno, Baby Doll, King, Poker Chip, Blue. I can't name all of the great ones that hit in their stride. But all the people who rode them will tell you they gave them much more than a ride. And then there's the sweet, gentle kid's horse who lowers his head to be groomed, allows himself to be awkwardly bathed and even Repellex perfumed. Is he pretty? You bet, for he babysits kids that can't even reach up to his side. No wonder that old kids love horses. They give them much more than a ride. They served in the wars without question. They were shot up and blown up and burned, yet continued to do whatever was asked and pressed on till the war tides turned. And when they were no longer needed, they mostly were just pushed aside. But history has shown, it can always be said, they gave us much more than a ride. As I look on the hill and see baby foals nursing and switching their tails, while their beautiful mamas shine in the sun, tranquility prevails. And when Traveler, my number one all-around horse, does things that fill me with pride, in the roping or doing a trick for the kids, he gives me much more than a ride. And think of the horses that carried the greats like Greg Ward in his famous Last Wind. Or all the great broncs that helped Casey and Larry and Ty and all Ben Greeno's kin. Watch Teddy Robinson boxing a cow, or a beautiful Avila slide, and you'll know why we have to love horses. They give us much more than a ride. So join me and just take a moment each day to honor our equine friends, and just do your best to make them feel happy wherever their long trail winds. And don't be afraid to say that you love them. Speak up and say it with pride, because by gosh, we sure owe it to them. They've given us more than a ride.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
Cheers.
That's a new one, my Rusty.
Now, Rusty, you said that was one of your shorter poems?